How's it going, everybody? Daner here with North Central Coins, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the most rare and valuable coins in Australia. Today we're going to be discussing a rare sixpence coin from the land down under that can be worth some insane amounts of money you probably had no idea even existed. Because this coin was made at the beginning of the Queen Elizabeth II era of coinage, it makes finding them pretty tricky but not impossible, and you don't need to identify any errors or varieties or anything too crazy. You just simply need to find the date of this sixpence coin that we are going to discuss, and even in beat up or worn condition, it can make you some really decent money. In this video, we will explore the historical context surrounding the production of this rare and valuable sixpence coin and delve into why it holds such incredible importance in Australian numismatic history. Additionally, we will discuss any distinguishing and identifying features, its significance among collectors, and also the potential value if you happen to own or find a legitimate example. Before I do get into this, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also ring that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new content as it is being released. And make sure to stay to the end of the video if you'd like to find out how much you can actually get for this coin if you happen to own or find one. And then without any further ado, what do you say we get right into it and discuss the 1953 Australian sixpence coin? Let's get it, guys. The Australian sixpence coin circulated from the year 1910 until the decimalisation of Australian currency in the year 1966. Initially, these coins were minted in England, but from 1916, Australian branches of the Royal Mint in Sydney and Melbourne began producing them. The Coinage Act of 1909 authorized the issuance of Australian coins in specific denominations, including the sixpence, which adhered to the same weight and size standards as British currency. By 1916, all silver denominations, including the sixpence, could be minted locally. The complete transition to unique Australian currency came with decimalisation in the year 1966. During the era of the sixpence, Australian society was heavily influenced by British customs and culture. Phrases and references to British currency were common in everyday life, and traditional nursery rhymes and literature featured British monetary units. The Australian sixpence, along with other pre-decimal coins, reflected this cultural connection by retaining similarities to British coinage in both design and usage. The formation of the Commonwealth of Australia in the year 1901 marked the beginning of a unified Australian currency system. Initially, Australian currency consisted of gold, silver, and bronze coins from the United Kingdom. The Coinage Act of 1909 established the legal tender status of the Australian sixpence, florin, shilling, threepence, penny, and halfpenny coins, requiring that the batches of silver coins be composed of sterling silver, which is 92.5% silver and 7.5% copper. The first shipment of Australian Commonwealth silver shillings arrived in Sydney in March 1910, with other coins including the sixpence following later that year. The design of the Australian sixpence remained remarkably consistent over its 50-year history. It traditionally followed the British custom of changing the direction in which the monarch's profile faced with each new reign. Despite this, the reverse design of the Australian sixpence, featuring the Commonwealth of Australia coat of arms, remained unchanged from its introduction in 1910 until the last minting in 1963. The obverse designs varied with each reigning monarch, from King Edward VII to George V, King George VI, and finally Queen Elizabeth II. The sixpence coin was a favored medium of exchange, making it difficult for collectors to find well-preserved examples due to their extensive use. Despite the transition to decimal currency in 1966, the old sixpence coins were not demonetized and can still occasionally be found in circulation. The introduction of decimal currency simplified financial transactions and marked a significant step in Australia's economic independence, promoting Australian symbols and enhancing economic efficiency for the country. The 1953 Australian sixpence coin is particularly notable and more valuable than other sixpence coins within the same date range or from the Queen Elizabeth II era. The This coin is distinguished by its relatively low mintage, its historical significance as the first year to feature Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, and its specific production at the Melbourne Mint. One of the key factors contributing to the value and rarity of the 1953 sixpence is its low mintage figure. With only 1,152,000 coins produced, it is one of the rare sixpences from the post-World War II period. Collectors often seek out coins with lower mintages because they are less common and therefore more difficult to find in good condition. The 1953 sixpence also holds significant historical value as it was the first year the Queen Elizabeth II was featured on the obverse of Australian coinage. Following the death of her father, King George VI, in 1952, Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne and new coins were minted to reflect this change. The obverse design by Mary Gillick, which depicts a youthful Queen Elizabeth II wearing a laurel wreath, marked a new era in Commonwealth coinage. Coins from a first year of a new monarch's reign are often more sought after by collectors due to their historical significance and symbolic significance. The 1953 sixpence continued the traditional design of its predecessors. The reverse design by W.H.J. Blakemore features the Australian coat of arms, which includes a shield supported by a kangaroo and an emu and a 7-pointed star as the crest. The continuity in reverse designs combined with the new obverse monarch creates a unique combination that is appealing to collectors. The fact that these coins were minted at the Melbourne Mint adds another layer of interest. The Melbourne Mint has quite a storied history, and sometimes coins produced there can carry an extra level of prestige. Collectors often pay attention to the mint of origin, and those from notable mints like the Melbourne can be found more desirable. As with all coins, the condition of one of these 1953 sixpence greatly affects its value. Coins that have been well preserved, exhibiting minimal wear and retaining much of their original mint luster and design features are particularly prized. Given the low mintage figure, finding a 1953 sixpence in excellent condition could be a significant achievement for any collector. Taking all of that into account, the 1953 Australian sixpence stands out due to its low mintage, historical significance as the first year of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and its production at the Melbourne Mint facility. These factors combined to make it a more valuable and sought-after coin among numismatists and collectors, particularly those interested in post-World War II and early Elizabethan Australian coinage. Now, some of the details and specifications of any of these are off and may indicate that it is not a legitimate or authentic example. This coin has an extremely low mintage figure of 1,152,000. It was minted at the Melbourne Mint in Australia. It is composed of 50% silver, 40% copper, 5% zinc, and 5% nickel. It has a weight of 2.82 grams, a diameter of 19 millimeters. The obverse was designed and engraved by Mary Gillick, and the reverse by W.H.J. Blakemore. Now, one of the good things about this coin is it does carry a slight premium on the low end. It's not going to be worth too much more than its silver melt value, but if you do find one of these that is extremely worn and beat up, it can be worth around $3 for an F12. The prices that I'm giving you are in Australian dollars, so if you happen to live in Canada or the United States, you might be able to get a little bit more for some of these rare key dates. Now, if you find one of these and it's pushing the AU50 mark, it can be worth around $50. As you start to get into the MS range, you start to see some pretty nice price jumps. It can be worth around $150 for an MS60, and the maximum current evaluated price for this coin is around $1,100 for an MS66. If you found one and it graded any higher, I don't doubt that you could easily get anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, especially if it hit around an MS68 to MS70. British and Australian coins have a lot better chance of scoring above the MS67 mark than, let's say, Canadian coins. So if you do find one of these and it's in exceptional condition, I would definitely suggest sending it off to be graded because you may be able to turn a pretty good profit. Now, what do you guys think about the 1953 Australian sixpence coin? What would you do if you ever found a legitimate example, or if you ever have found any of the coins that I discussed in this video? Please let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and ring that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new content as it is being released. But I think that is pretty much going to do it for this one, folks. So until the next one, everybody, peace out and have a good one, y'all.